Man, it's hard to tell what Biden's doing, to be totally frank. You know, like, I feel like
It's weekend at Bernie's.
the real president is whoever controls the teleprompter. You know, the path to power is the path to the teleprompter. You know, like what because then he just reads the teleprompter. So, you know, I do feel like if somebody would accidentally lean on the teleprompter, it's going to be like Anchorman. It's going to be like QQQ ASDF 123, you know, type of thing.
I mean,
they don't like him. They don't like him at all. Honestly, if I kept doing videos with Elon Musk, I'm going to reach Thunderfoot levels, but I mean, he is creating culture right now. He is exposing so much of the things that are going on behind the scenes at Twitter that it's actually important to keep up. I can't just ignore this. Tomorrow you're going to see what the employees from Twitter really think about. It's going to be very interesting. But today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk, which, by the way, like a lot of people say that, oh, well, he's a right-winger. I don't think he's a right-winger necessarily. Like, he's just a normal person. Like 5 years ago, if you had someone like Elon Musk, you wouldn't be able to tell if it's a right-winger or a left-winger. It would be like, okay, well, it's a normal person. You know, he wants the platforms to be open for everyone. He wants them to be free speech. His definition of free speech is that everything that's legal. If you think that something is too problematic, then why aren't you trying to make it illegal? I mean, like seriously, like if every person in the United States would have a problem with, I don't know, like, let's take the extreme, a Nazi video, right? Because this is something that I actually spoke with someone on Twitter. It was like, oh, so you're okay with Nazis posting videos on Twitter? And I said, how many people do you think would watch those videos, number one? Number two, how many people who watch that video would become Nazis? And number three, if you think it's so bad, why aren't you pushing it for it to be illegal? I mean, you can show that video in public, like in places in the United States. You can just go on the street, project it on a building, and it's legal, right? You can use the press to do it. You can make a newspaper that does it. Like, why exactly do you draw the line at Twitter? I mean, with this logic, you know, should people talk about Nazi propaganda in their cars? Why shouldn't cars just have a microphone and listen to the conversation that goes inside? And if the conversation is bad, the car stops running. I mean, we would probably go into that. The way things are going, you'd probably would have like a subscription-based model for a car, and it would have like a microphone that listens to what the conversation is inside, and if it triggers the algorithm, the car stops running. Why not? Why not? You know, so technically you can have a legal conversation inside your vehicle, but you know, like the company would be like, well, we don't want that type of behavior in our cars, so whatever. Let me show you what's going on right now on Twitter. You got the CEO of Twitter going mucho texto, talking about spam, and Elon Musk just goes poop emoji. Each human review is based on the Twitter rules that define spam and platform manipulation and uses both public and private data. To make a determination on each account. Have you tried just calling? He's trolling the living hell out of these people. So let's look a little bit about what the mucho texto is about. Elon Musk doesn't want to go on with the deal. Like, he suspended his acquisition until Twitter can prove that the spam is less than 5%, right? And this makes sense. I mean, he's paying $40 billion for it. It's not just pocket change, number one. And number two, his business model is not to use advertisers, but instead to use a subscription model, probably like Discord. And in order to do that, like, he needs to know that the people that use Twitter are legit people and not bots, right? Because the bots can't use subscription. I mean, it makes sense. So here you have the CEO trying to obfuscate things and goes, let's talk about spam. First, let me tell the obvious. Spam harms the experience for real people on the Twitter, and therefore can harm our business. It can also help your business. Like, if you pretend to generate more traffic than you actually do, you can charge more money for the advertisers. You can lie to the advertisers saying that they're going to be more eyeballs on their products when in fact there isn't. So I don't believe that it can harm your business. I genuinely don't, especially if a lot of people don't even realize that it's bots that are doing it, or most people are comfortable with the bots. So we are strongly incentivized to detect and remove any such spam as we possibly can. Man, I seen so much spam that isn't getting removed. Like, for example, when Disney, the mouse, puts out a new movie. Like, you see all these spam reviews, and you know it's spam because they post the exact same thing. I remember during the lockdowns in the United Kingdom, when Boris Johnson talked about removing the lockdowns, you had people going, it's like, it would be such a dangerous thing for Boris to do, to lift the lockdowns now. And you had like hundreds of accounts just tweeting the same thing, and they weren't removed. So either you're ineffective at removing the spam or you don't give a shit. But I have seen so much spam on Twitter, and nothing happens to it. So, I don't know. Spam isn't just binary, human or non-human. The most advanced spam campaigns use combinations of human and non-humans. It's sophisticated and hard to catch. Some final context, fighting spam is incredibly dynamic. The adversary, yeah, you know, like, this is something else that I find bizarre, right? So fighting spam is very difficult, but the moment you misgender someone on the Twitter, immediately, oh my god, all of a sudden you manage to catch that. We suspend over 500,000 accounts every day, usually before any of you get to see them on Twitter. We also lock millions of accounts. If they can't pass human verification challenges, captchas, phone, etc. The hard challenge is that many accounts which look fake superficially are actually real people. And some of them accounts which are actually the most dangerous and cause the most harm to our users can totally look legitimate on the surface. Our team updates our systems and rules constantly to remove as much spam as possible, without inadvertently suspending real people or adding unnecessary friction. Now we know we aren't perfect at catching spam. And this is why after all the spam removal I talked above, we know that some slips through. We measure it internally. And every quarter we have estimated that less than 5% of reports are the spam accounts. Now, this is why it's important, right? Because Twitter advertised itself before the deal that it has less than 5% accounts. Imagine if you buy a house and you pay a price for it, and before the deal, you know, is over, you go in and you see that the foundation of the house is rotten, or that it's missing some of its walls. Surely you can stop the deal going through. And you're like, okay, well, you lied to me in the contract. You said that the foundation is good, but the foundation is rotten. The house is going to collapse. What are we doing? Either you lower the price, or I'm not buying. I mean, you see so many people on Twitter that are like, oh no, Elon Musk can't do this. Like, he has to go through the deal now. It's like, okay, Mr. Lawyer, did you read the contract? I didn't read the contract, but I guess they did read the contract. Each human review is based on Twitter rules that define spam and platform manipulation. And use both, well, you know, like the platform manipulation is what your algorithm is doing. It uses both public and private data. The use of private data is particularly important in avoiding misclassification users who are real. Our actual internal estimates for the last 4 quarters were well under 5%. Well, you know, like, I'm pretty sure if they're under 5% and they can prove it, then the deal will go forward. But it does seem that they might not be under 5%, which is why the deal is stalling. Well, we'll see. Whatever, you know, I do love the meltdown that a lot of people are having. And the meltdown that they're having isn't that left-leaning people are going to be oppressed on social media. No, the meltdown that they're having is that non-leftists are not going to be oppressed. So it's going to be an equal playing field. That's really why they're freaking out about this. Some of the things that are coming from inside Twitter, I'm going to show you tomorrow. Absolutely shocking. I mean, we suspected a lot of things, but like the level that it's happening is just mind-blowing. So tune in tomorrow and I'll show you guys. And if you like this video, do consider giving us super thanks. And I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.